Up the Deep Creek Watershed Board of Zoning Appeals. We have one case tonight. It's a variance. A quorum is 3. We usually have 5. Tonight we only have 3 people sitting here, so all 3 have to vote yes to get it to pass. On there, this is a quasi-judicial hearing. We take sworn testimony. This board is appointed by the county commissioners and we serve at their pleasure. We are your friends and neighbors. We have 10 working days to render a decision. However, usually a decision is made the same evening. The public may stay and listen. However, no comments are accepted during deliberations. And like I said, tonight we have one case and it's a variance.
And that variance is VR 823, submitted by Douglas and Suzanne Lee for a variance to allow the construction of a single-family residence on a deck to within 0.5 feet of the rear property line. The property is located at 565 Skippers Point Road, tax map 57, parcel 149, grid 11, and is zoned Lake Residential 1. We received several bits of correspondence on this. First from DNR, Department of Natural Resources, stating no objections to the request, but a reminder that no fill or grading can be placed beyond the Penelec line, and a proper sediment and erosion controls are needed at that point to maintain that. We also have approval, no objection to the variance from the Health Department and DPU, Department of Public Utilities. And we have a letter from the neighbor, George Rydell, thanking us for the package and giving their blessing to the project as well. And then we do have one objection from a neighbor, Mr. Alex Schmidt, and his objection states, I'm writing to you with regards to the application for zoning variance to the property located at 565 Skippers Point Road, Douglas and Suzanne Lee. We are a neighboring property. Based on the letter received, the package from the county and Century Engineering, proposing the home and deck to within 6 inches of the rear line. The ordinance requires the home to be at 10 feet and hence the variance request. It states that the modified footprint for the renovation of the house will extend well beyond the height of their existing home and any of those neighboring properties as can be viewed from their building plans. The design and movement of the home will further hinder and obstruct our waterfront views to the northeast from our home. With the movement of the home and deck further towards the water, it appears that there will also be the need to have an additional tree removed. Their plans also note they plan to extend a deck to the northwest side of the home by 9 feet 7 inches to within 5 feet of the property line. This added move towards the side property line further diminishes the open space between our 2 homes and decking to roughly 20 feet from the over 30 wooded feet that we've enjoyed for the last several decades, and will also require them to remove some of the 25 plus years of rhododendron hedge that has grown between our properties. The house, as being renovated, will be nearly 5,100 square feet of living space, having 7 bedrooms plus a nursery, 2 half baths, and 5 full-size baths. It is clearly not in character with the other surrounding homes and does adversely affect this adjoining property owner. In further reference, a document from Century Engineering, they state that the new Deep Creek Watershed zoning ordinance provisions put in place regarding setbacks would create an unnecessary hardship for the owners by restricting their ability to build the home that they designed in November of 2020. While the building regulations may have been different 12 months ago, the choice to wait to build and or file the permits until now, after the regulations on setbacks changed in October of 21, can only be construed as a personal decision by the owners and not COVID related as alluded in their documents. In contacting permit officials at Garrett County that have knowledge of the building permit process, as well as some local building contractors, the processing of building permits had never really been impacted during the pandemic, but rather only leaned more towards using email and online communication to maintain, review, issue building permits during the pandemic. So far in 2021, over 160 permits for new single-family homes have been issued. The current revised regulations in place should not be viewed as a means in allowing the new home to be pushed closer to the water via variance. Doing so would only restrict the open lake views for the existing neighboring owners with a home much larger than of those surrounding it. Retaining the existing setbacks currently in place by the county should be maintained, and any renovation plans for the home should be made to fit the buildable area of the lot as it currently exists without modifying the buildable square footage. As such, we hereby voice our objection to the granting the variance. Alex Schmidt. And that's it from me. And I believe Doug Stork is here to represent the applicant.
Doug, do you swear to swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Doug Stork, 30 Skyview Drive, McHenry, Maryland, 21541.
All right.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I have a...
Oh, yeah, please.
I have a package to go give you and go over here.
Thank you.
I believe this variance is not contrary to public interest. When we looked at this property and we looked at the existing houses on either side of it, as you can, the first is the same floor as the actual site plan. The second sheet there actually shows the house on either side. Mr. Schmidt's house is actually a little closer to the property line than the existing house that we have now on the site. And then the other lots is actually, they did an earlier buy down, and so they're actually houses completely in front of this house. So if you could do an averaging, we would actually be able to go down about at least 50 or 60 feet farther to make it actually in harmony with the existing houses. But since that doesn't exist, and that's why we're asking for the variance, we do have several hardships, and for this particular case, one is there's a large boulder underneath the house that's existing now. It's solid rock. That's the reason they didn't go down with the basement earlier on. It's in order to, that's why on this particular design that we've done in this plan, we kept the crawl space opposed to a basement. Because of that, we're keeping the garage because the garage was built at a later time. We don't have, so we're kind of pressed to go forward. We can't go back. So in doing so, and knowing that we couldn't go down, we have to go forward. We can't go to the sidelines because it's another difficulty we have. It's an irregular shaped lot, and it's also a small lot. It's only 3.34 acres. So that created another practical difficulty. you can see by looking at that, the lot actually tapers toward the lake. So in our design, we actually had to do a stepping of the house trying to get it into the lot. By trying to get the rooms a reasonable size, especially on the first floor, we ended up having to stretch the house. Since we couldn't go toward the garage, interfering with that, we had to go toward the lake. It was the only area we had to go with that. We tried to keep with the harmony of with the area. We've done several house designs on Skipper's Point, and the ones we've done recently are all of a similar size. This house is in a similar height, so we're looking at keeping everything within harmony along that road. And as you could drive down there, you do see many houses that fit this size and shape. Although the neighbor said he had some concerns, I don't think we adversely affected his property. He is so far, he's right to the line as it is now, so his view shed wouldn't be impacted right or left as you look at the site plan, since he's actually turned more perpendicular, parallel to this lot. He's looking straight at the lake, so, and going to the front of his, looking right and left, he actually has a really nice panoramic view that we're not getting into. So, and then the neighbor looking at the lake on the right-hand side, we don't impact him at all. We actually look through his house, so that doesn't even come to as an issue. And then, let's see, what else do we have? As far as we were looking at the rock, hydrohammering would be an issue because we have an existing well. I mean, they have an existing foundation on that garage. So the concerns with using a hydraulic hammer to hammer that rock out to go down and keep the house narrow wasn't a possibility, because we could impact not only the well on this property, but we could collapse the wells on the other properties as well, because since that rock is substantial, we would have to be hydrohammering for quite a long period of time. The reason we designed the house with the size that we did, it's for the homeowners. They just had not enough room for their family. They had a large family, and they wanted more room. Presently, they only have a few bedrooms and small spaces. Their family is growing, and they want a place for their family to come and congregate. They enjoy the lake, and they're using it specifically for lake use. So they're not looking to rent it. And we did, in our letter, we did mention that the owners, we did have this designed earlier on, and a complete set of construction documents, which I just gave you a sampling of some of the pages, but I have a complete set here if you'd like to see it, the structure. We had this ready to go. The owners were concerned with issues of COVID, also not just related to health issues, but also with pricing issues. I know that's not taken into consideration directly, but it did delay them in applying for the variance, not knowing that the zoning was going to change within last month. So that was an issue that they had run into with this as well. Is there anything that I can?
Doug, I know in the letter that, one of the letters that Bruce read, I think it was the one in which the neighbor objected, he made reference to the possibility of a tree being removed. We were out there today, and I don't think there are any trees on the owner's property, and and DNR certainly didn't make mention of a request, or you'd have to get DNR approval to move in.
To go forward, because we're going right to the line. There's some rhododendron.
Yeah, I saw those. They're right up against the decking.
The decking, yeah. Right. So we are going to take some of the rhododendron, but there's another line of rhododendron on the property line that will go up to. So there's that 5-foot buffer, which is actually that meets the criteria for Garrett County building code or the zoning code. So we're fine on that side. Going forward, there is some rhododendron that's crossing the line. We'll only be able to take out what we can on our side.
Yeah, but there are no trees.
No trees.
I didn't think so. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes,
On I guess this is the rear elevation. You have what appears to be a door, and I guess these are walkout doors.
Correct.
They're right on the line, so what are you gonna
Well,
do?
the door, I'm sorry, the door here, that actually is like a storage access, so that would actually, you'd be able to just go in now. It's not for,
Won't you be disturbing what would have been the buy-down property if you're right on the line here?
the.
Like, you're gonna put a concrete pad down?
Well,
or-
we're allowed 120 square feet on DNR, as long as we have a separation. So we could take that and put 120 square foot pad on that as our DNR permit for that. The other area is actually back under the deck.
Mhm.
So we do have an area in front of that for a patio, which wouldn't interfere with the DNR.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
No, sir.
I don't know if this is handy, but this is kind of, I did, kind of did a diagonal. If you didn't have the setback, if you could technically do a.
We saw that today, we were down there, Doug. We didn't have an issue.
Okay.
No, we've seen that on there. Well, gotta ask, anybody else want to speak for? And also, anybody want to speak against? Doug, you got any more comments?
No, I'm good.
Everybody?
Thank you.
No questions.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Doug, I would just say the one thing about that pad being poured out on, I don't think you're allowed to
You
do,
can do paver.
you can do
You can
pavers
do
or
yeah.
a wooden deck.
A wooden deck or paver.
Yeah,
120.
okay.
It
I
has
just wanted to make sure you,
It
It
has
can't
to
be
have a
attached.
separation on the property line delineated.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
And removable.
And remove, yeah.
Has to be removable.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right, I guess at this time we'll go in deliberations. Everybody can listen, or wait around, do what you want. Go on there. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Second it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Is there any more business, Mr. Minioncho?
Man, look
So
how
Moran
small
finally
that-
got his garage in, correct? It's over with. That's done after 5 years.
Yes.
Chris.
Thank you, sir.
that's DR 823 on the top.
We're gonna make it irregular.
Irregular, it is a little narrow.
What are you checking there?
Irregular.
Yes.
Okay.
What'd you make that tape so small for?
Just to make it difficult for you. Yeah, that's it, nothing on that lower E section or F.
Today, the 18th.
Today is the 18th, 11/18/20. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Anything else on that agenda? Sir, acting chairman?
Thank you, Bruce. I don't think there's anything else, Steve. Is there? You see anything else on the
I
agenda?
think we're done. This was a good night.
Well, you did a great job just getting us right through it.
Sucking up ain't gonna get you anything.
Yep, you're right about that.
Okay. You want to close the? That's it?
This will close the meeting for tonight on November 18th.
Thank you.
Let us know when we're turned off. Turned off?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Now if we can get our fearless leader over here to get us the proper speech to make, we need to do it. Since our other fearless leader who retired took everything with him.
would he do that?
You got a chuckle?
Maybe on quiet nights down in Florida when he doesn't have anything to do, he reads all the old cases.
Jeez, I sure hope not.
What a sick puppy, huh?